Here are your top-seeded finalists in the women's 1500 freestyle swimming in lane 1, representing Ohio State University, Gwyneth Woodbury. Lane 2, also from Ohio State, Maya Geringer. Lane 3 from the Jersey Wahoos, Maddie Wagoner. Lane 4 from Longhorn Aquatics, Erica Sullivan. Lane 5 representing Wisconsin Aquatics, Paige McKenna. Lane 6 from the TAC Titans, it's Caroline Pennington. Lane 7 from Wisconsin Aquatics, Ellie Braun. And in lane 8, also from Wisconsin Aquatics, Olivia Lindorfer. Top seeded 8 swimmers in the women's 1500. An interesting thing to pay attention to as we go through this 1500, because Paige Madden, our 800 champion, swam this earlier. She went a 16:29.63, which definitely will put her right in the mix. We'll keep an eye on the splits that she swam earlier today. Update you as we go on where she stands in comparison to this field in the water right now. Pennington out early and in the lead. 102.07 for her on the way out. Pennington's best time is 16:28.94. Olympic trial cut is a 16:45.69. Pennington already has that cut as she swum under that mark since the window opened for qualification. She actually swam that best time at the National Championships earlier this month. Continuing to lead, 0.6 of a second ahead of Paige McKenna. Paige McKenna also going a best time at the National Championships, 16:20.66 for her there. Before that swim, her last time swimming the 1500 was at the Olympic trials in 2021 out in Omaha, Nebraska. This year at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. 2:07.27, the opening 200 split. Obviously, when you look at the rankings in the 1500, the name atop that board in almost every record is Katie Ledecky, but Erica Sullivan is the second fastest woman in American history. She's in lane 4, 15:41.41, her time at the Olympic Games in Tokyo back in 2021. You're going to crack the top 25 all-time performers in American history in this event, you've got to go a 16:12 or faster. Caroline Pennington right now is worried about who's in the water against her. 3:12.89 at the 300-meter mark. About 5 seconds up on where Paige Madden was. If you peruse Madden's splits, she actually got faster in the middle of the 1500, so don't count that time out yet. McKenna in second, Wagoner in third. Coming up on the 400-meter mark, a great point to check in to see where these ladies stand in comparison to their lifetime bests. Pennington continues to lead at the 400-meter mark, 4:18.57 for her on the opening 400 meters. She's about 3.5 seconds faster than she was. And like I mentioned, that was at National Championships in Indy just a few weeks ago. Be a crazy improvement to drop that much time. McKenna a little bit closer to where she was. She was 4:19.06 in Indy, a 4:19.17. So almost dead on, a tenth of a second off on her best time pace. The 500-meter mark, third of the way through. All sorts of math going on as these ladies swim. 5:24.39 at the 500. Pennington continues to lead McKenna. McKenna outsplit her, though, heading into that 500-meter turn, 32.7 to 32.9. The gap only 0.4 of a second. Maddie Wagner about 3 seconds behind those two leaders. And Lindorfer in lane 8. Another Badger. Now 4 seconds off of the lead pace. .600 meters, and McKenna may have taken the lead. Nope, it's a tenth of a second, the gap between McKenna and Pennington. Wagner still right where she's been, about 2.5 to 3 seconds back of the lead. Pennington's been 32 high, 33 O's on her splits. McKenna has been about the same. .700 meters. McKenna has now led for 100 of those. 7:36 at the 700 meter mark. Keep an eye on Maddie Wagner. She has not given any more lead up to those two leading ladies, Pennington and McKenna. And you always got to be cognizant of where Erica Sullivan is. She has just been almost lurking in the shadows, and she continues to outsplit our two leaders. She's been 32.5s consistently at a 32.49, so as close as you can get to dead even. She's sitting in fourth, just behind Maddie Wagner in lane 3. Paige McKenna continues to lead. We've officially passed the halfway point. Here comes the 800 meter mark. McKenna's lead over Pennington now up to a half of a second as Erica Sullivan pulls into third. She's just under 4 seconds behind McKenna, 3.5 seconds behind Pennington, and continuing to close.
Everything good in the trailer?
3.5 seconds now. Erica Sullivan's gap, 0.8 of a second. Caroline Pennington behind your leader, Paige McKenna. From what was about 6 seconds, down to just 2.5. Coming up on the 1,000 meter mark. Erica Sullivan was as high as 7th place at one point. Now in third. 33.0 for McKenna, 33.1 for Pennington, and a 32.5 for Sullivan. At this rate, she could make the pass in the next 200 to 300 meters unless a response from McKenna or Pennington happens. Here it is, 400 meters to go. McKenna is your leader. Sullivan now in second, a second and a half behind the lead of McKenna. Pennington now in third. Maddie Wagner is splitting very fast as well. She just threw down a 33.0, then a 32.8. That's important because in that span of time, she picked up about 0.7 of a second on Caroline Pennington. Paige Madden's time continues to sit right at about the 5th place range. Sullivan is pulled within a second now. The gap continues to dwindle. .300 meters to go. Sullivan a 32.8, McKenna a 33.1. And even still, Wagner continues to chew away at that gap between her and Caroline Pennington for third. All four of these ladies ahead of the fastest time from the afternoon swims. So in all likelihood, the top three in this race will be the top three overall. The lead is 0.3 of a second. Will this be the 50 where Erica Sullivan makes the pass? There it is. Erica Sullivan making the pass at the 1,300 meter mark to take the lead. the Olympic silver medalist in this event. Big 12 500 and 1650 champion. Passing Paige McKenna. Sullivan continuing to hold steady, 32.5 and a 32.6 on those last two splits. Maddie Wagner has made the jump. She's now in third as she passes Pennington on that last 50. Here they come into the final 100 meters, and that means it's time for some bells. Erica Sullivan, Paige McKenna, Maddie Wagner, Caroline Pennington, all getting the bell. Final 100 meters for our leaders. Wisconsin distance continues to be very strong. Sullivan on her way to the win, but McKenna of Wisconsin and Wagner, a rising freshman at Wisconsin, looking like they're going to go 2-3 here. Erica Sullivan put together a completely different race than we probably expected, but still finding the same result. Another win for one of the fastest 1,500 swimmers in history. Erica Sullivan wins it. 16:21.47 for Sullivan. 16:23.92 for McKenna. A 16:25.17 for Maddie Wagner. That's a 2.5 second drop from her best time. She swam July of last year. Caroline Pennington at a 16:27.74. A great swim for her. A new best time as well. An Olympic trial cut for Olivia Lindorfer out in lane 8. 16:34.87 for her. And that wraps up the women's 1,500 freestyle. The question is, will we have more of the same? Matthew Galley, our 800 freestyle winner, had a fantastic swim, 7:50.25, dropping more than 3 seconds from his entry a few nights ago. Daniel Matheson, who's in second now, was in second in the 800 as well. Will Gallant finished third in the 800s. You got the top three all right next to each other in lanes 2, 3, and 4. Third place at the 50 in the way too soon results is Jake Narvid of Tennessee Aquatics. $1,500, as we just saw, can't be won in the first half, but it can be lost, and we'll see if this is the right strategy as Galea is out in a 55.65. Matheson out in a 56.80. Galea's best time of 15:10.22, which he swam at the Australian Championships, earning a silver medal on his way to it. And he continues to be very fast. Galea not looking like he's slowing down at all. 155.64 on the way out. Brenniger has responded. He was in third with a 29.8 on that 450. Has moved him into second, a full second behind the leader. Continues to be the case. Matheson has settled in at a 30.0. He's in third. 30.1 for Galea and Brenniger leading the way. Brenniger eating away at that lead ever so slightly. It's down to 0.6 of a second. Brenniger finishing fourth in the 800 freestyle. Good swim, 7:54.88. Four gentlemen under 8 minutes in the 800 earlier this week on Wednesday evening. And of course, the fastest of those four continues to be the fastest right now. Galea is a model of consistency, 30.0, 0.1, 0.3, and 0.1. Breathing to his right to keep a close eye on Brenniger in lane 5. Still a long way to go here, but this is the 400-meter mark. As I mentioned, 356.66 for Galea in the lead. It's a solid second, faster than he was at the Australian Championships when he went his best, 15:10. $357.19 on the way out for Michael Brenniger. He's about 1.5 to 2 seconds off of his PR pace, but he's 0.6 of a second behind Galea right now. Fastest time from the afternoon is owned by Dylan Porges Avila of the swim team. It was a 15:36.17. As we did in the women's race, we'll just keep an eye on that, make you aware of any developments that could be coming down as these gentlemen swim. A third of the way through, Galea still in the lead. The lead is shrinking. It's down to a quarter second. Brenniger's 30.0 heading into the 500-meter mark. Has him 0.28 off the lead. A big response there as Galea throws down a 29.7. Huge jump in his pace. First sub-30 split that he has had since the 150 mark. Actually faster than that split. He turns in another sub-30, but Brenniger responds as he splits a 29.7. Out-splitting Galea's 29.8 and keeping that gap between the two of them under a second. 0.8 of a second, the separation between our two leaders here in the men's 1500. Daniel Matheson has just been quietly biding his time there in lane 2, but he stayed definitely within striking distance, just under 3 seconds off the lead. Galea's lead for the first time now consistently over a full second. Brenniger now 1.25 back. Here comes the halfway point, 750 meters at this next turn. 15 down, 15 to go. Relay is 7:26.98 at the 750, and this man continues to surprise. He's basically 6 seconds ahead of the pace he held at the Aussie Championships back in April of this year when he swam his best time. He keeps up this pace, could be breaking 15 minutes for the first time in his career. Samuel Short, the Aussie champion, in the 14:58 back in April. See what Galea has in store for this July afternoon. Brinegar still in second, still right at the same spot. Back to under a second behind. Brinegar's best time, 15:00:82. Basically as close as you can get. A long way to swim. And just missed the payoff of breaking 15 minutes. Galea's pace has slowed slightly, and Brinegar is leveraging the opportunity to try and make the pass here as we come up on 900 meters. Brinegar does exactly that. He's a 1/10 of a second up. 30.1. Galea 30.9 on that. Galea hits the accelerator yet again. Back and forth we go. All the while, keep an eye on Daniel Matheson. I know I've said it already, but I'm going to say it again. He's slowly eating into the lead that Galea and Brinegar have. Sitting there in lane 2, keeping an eye on him. .500 meters to go. Brinegar back in the lead. Matheson now within 2 seconds of the lead. Matheson is having borderline out of body swim right now. 10:01 at the 1,000-meter mark to be within a few seconds of the lead. He is 13 seconds faster than his best time, which he swam almost equaled multiple times, but his fastest is logged at the national championships in this pool. So maybe it's something about Irvine for Daniel Matheson. Now just over a second and a half behind leaders. The new leader again, Matthew Galea. Spoiler alert, we're going to have another new leader as we hit the final 400 meters. It's Brinegar again. .350 meters to go now. Galea back in the lead. At this point, it almost feels like they're playing a little game. Matheson, the one potentially getting the big advantage out of it as he's closed to within a second and a half of the lead. 0.2 of a second separate our top two. A second and a half back from them is Matheson, the 20-year-old from Sun Devil Swimming. Almost don't even need to say it, but Brinegar is back in the lead once again. .300 meters to go. Galea looks like he may have found another gear real quick there. No longer playing games, and that is the case. 29.6 to Brinegar's 30.7. 2 seconds back, Matheson. Like Galea is all of a sudden swimming a different race. 29.6, 29.5. Brinegar's trying to respond. 29.8 heading into the final 200 meters. Matheson's still there, but falling behind those lead paces. He's holding a consistent pace. It's just that Galea has decided he's not going to trade the lead any longer. A little bit of a slower split there, 30.1. Galea is definitely on his way to a best time. Could he get under that 15-minute mark? That's going to be the question. Brinegar and Matheson trying to chase him down, but it looks like they may run out of time. The Aussie's on his way. Splits a 29.4 on that. If he can put that together twice, he's breaking 15 minutes here. A strong finish being turned in from Galea, who at the 1,250 meters, or excuse me, 1,200 meter mark decided he was going to swim a 300 sprint. And he's doing exactly that. 29.2, he's back under that 15-minute pace. He's on his way to break 15 minutes for the first time in his career. You see all his countrymates dancing down the side of the pool, having a good old time, and it's a lot of fun to watch somebody accomplish something this fast. 15 minutes is nothing to shake a stick at. Very, very difficult time to get under. Only 15 Americans have ever done it. Galea, the Aussie, is going to go a 14.57. Michael Brinegar is going to get under 15 minutes as well. What a great swim there. Daniel Matheson, a 15.01. Margaritas all around, because those are some huge swims across the board. Galea getting under 15 minutes for the first time in his career and dropping 13 seconds from his best to do it. Michael Brinegar came into this meet with a best time of 15.0082. He breaks 15 minutes for the first time in his career, becoming the 16th American in history to do it. And that climbs him to the 14th fastest American man in history in this event. Daniel Matheson goes a 15.01.95. He came in with a 15.19.9. That 15.01 makes him the 19th fastest American in history, after coming in not even in the top 100 before the swim. What a great 1,500 top-seeded final. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to all of our distance swimmers. A lot of late practices and long days to make those races happen, and those were some great races. Well, a considerable change of pace for sure, because we're headed to something way shorter. How about a 200 backstroke, women's 200 backstroke, mere moments away. This is the C final of the women's 200 backstroke. Kelsey Cooper of Boilermaker Aquatics in 1, Annika McEnroe of California Aquatics in 2. Zoe Hartman, Athens Bulldog Swim Club in 3, Taylor McCoy of SoCal Aquatics Association in 4, Alex Roberts of Aztec Aquatics in 5, Celia Pulido of Southern Illinois in 6, Sophie Bryson of Dynamo in 7, and Mia Marquez of Cal Aquatics is in lane 8. 50 meters in, Alex Roberts leads with 31:49. The opening 50 meters of this C final. Pulido is going so fast that the time didn't register. She's a 1:04.04 at the 100-meter mark. She's got a huge lead on the rest of the field, almost 2 seconds at the halfway point. Pulido's best time at 2:17.02. There's a 2:19.30 coming in. Not eligible for Olympic trials, but just so you know, the cut is a 2:13.59. One of the harder ones, it seems, is we only had 3 swims under that cut this morning. Pulido continues to lead, 1:39.77 at the 150. The lead now only a second over Zoe Hartman of the Athens Bulldog Swim Club. She's in 3. Final few strokes, Pulido's trying to hold on, but Hartman looks like she's going to make the pass as she goes under the flags. Here comes a charge from Taylor McCoy, but it's Zoe Hartman, 2:16.19, McCoy 2:16.44, Pulido a 2:16.65 in third. We're rounding out our C final. B final. The final women's 200 backstroke underway. University of Pittsburgh's Claire Jansen in 1, Gina Jorgensen of Plum Husker in 2, Morgan Krause of Ohio State in 3, Olivia Lafaux of Australia in 4, Bella Pantano, Gamecock Aquatics in 5, Paige Hall, Ohio State in 6, Rosie Murphy of UCLA Swimming in 7, and Maya DeWitt of Indiana Swim Club in lane 8. Very quick start from Lafaux in lane 4. She's out in the 31.0, leading the way. She was a 2:16.0 in the prelims. 2:12.39 is her best time. The New South Wales State Open Championships back in April. Field beginning to catch up with Lafaux a bit. As Maya DeWitt all the way over there in lane number 8 from Indiana Swim Club. Looks like she may have made gains from half a second back to the lead. That is the case. 105.0 for DeWitt. LaFaux out at 105.2. Pantano in third, a 105.3. Gina Jorgensen of Club Husker in lane 2. About a half second back from the lead group. It was a 105.9 on the first 100 here in the B final of the women's 200 backstroke. DeWitt's best time in this event, a 2:14.02. 2:17.75 this morning, but much faster this evening. Another new leader, this time it's the Gamecock. Bella Pantano, 140.29 for her. She was out in a 105.30, which is under best time pace. Her best time came at the Gamecock Aquatic Summer Invite, 2:13.51. Everybody's getting back in on the action. Could we have another new leader down the final stretch here? We might go all the way back to the beginning. It's Gina Jorgensen, actually, 2:14.47 for her to win the B final. A best time for Jorgensen by half a second. 2:14.68. LaFaux finishes in second, and 2:14.88 for Pantano finishing in third.
Yep, A final.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pool deck, the A final in the women's 200 meters backstroke. Introducing your A finalists, swimming in lane 1, representing Mission Viejo, Alicia Wilson. In lane 2, from Virginia Tech, Caroline Pence. Lane 3, out of Tennessee Aquatics, Josephine Fuller. Your top seed in lane 4, from Wisconsin Aquatics, Phoebe Bacon. Lane 5, representing Australia, Hannah Fredericks. Lane 6, from Indiana Swim Club, Anna Freed. Lane 7, also out of Indiana Swim Club, Elise Heiser. And in lane 8, from Alto Swim Club, Natalie Mannion. This is the A final of the women's 200 meters backstroke. Bacon, your top seed from the morning, 2:11.63. Bacon has been a 2:05.0 in her career. Showing that at the international team trials a year ago in Greensboro. He was on form in Indianapolis, 2:06.59 turned in there. Probably one of the fastest A finals you're ever going to see. 2 weeks ago in Indy. It's Fredericks out to the early lead, 30.3 for the Australian in lane 5. It was a 2:11.72. She finished in second in the Australian Championships back in April for her best time. 2:13.59 is that Olympic trials cut that a few of our swimmers are still trying to knock out under the qualifying timeline. There's the halfway point. Bacon now in the lead. 102.9 for Phoebe Bacon. Out ahead of Fredericks, who's out on a 103.0. 103.90 for Josephine Fuller in lane 3. Her best time at the U.S. Open last December, 209.7 for her. She's already gotten that Olympic trial cut, swimming a 210.5 at the National Championships a few weeks ago. Also 213.40, just sliding under it this morning. Caroline Bentz was in 4th at the 100. Here's the 150. Bacon still in the lead, 0.2 of a second. Fredericks right next to her still. Fuller, 138.0. She's got a good battle going on with Caroline Bentz, 0.6 of a second back. Can anyone challenge for 3rd? Bacon's trying to keep a close eye on Fredericks, the Australian, in lane number 5. Bacon right up against that lane line. Keeping it close. Look at the tempo change from Phoebe Bacon down the final 10 meters. She is going to sprint away and take the win. 209.30, a 209.87 for Fredericks. A huge best time for her. And a 211.81 for Fuller, finishing in 3rd. Alicia Wilson getting under that Olympic trials qualifying standard, finishing in 4th. Anna Freed as well, going to 213.16. That's your winner with a 209.30, Phoebe Bacon. Coming up next, the men's 200 meters backstroke. This is the C final. Jack Easton of the Dallas Mustangs in 1. Rob McCall of the Dallas Mustangs in 2. Eric Stelmar of the University of Alabama in 3. Tyler Hong of Princeton in 4. Jake Markham of the University of Alabama in 5. Tommy Roeder of Cal Aquatics in 6. And Mark McCrary of Trojan Swim Club in lane 7. Stelmar led at the 50, leads at the 100, 58.94. Crimson Tide swimmer out a little bit faster than his personal best, which he actually turned in at the Olympic trials back in 2021. 201.69 is the Olympic trials cut this time around. Both of the backstroke cuts seeing huge drops. 59.93 Jake Markham in 2nd, 100.06 for Tommy Roeder in 3rd at the 100. 130.6 at the 150. Stelmar continues to be under best time pace. 202.59 is his best. If he can hang on, he could be somewhere close to that 201.69 Olympic trial cut. Right now, he's well on his way to winning this C final. Maybe posting a best time. Into the wall, it's a 202.71, just missing a best time, but getting the heat win. 203.06 for Jake Markham, finishing in 2nd. And a 206.39, Tommy Roeder finishing in 3rd. B final in the men's 200 backstroke. So we get your B final in lane 1 from Georgia Coastal, Sam Parker. Lane 2 from Evolution Racing Club, Jacques Wenger. Lane 3 from Tennessee Aquatics, Harrison Lears. Lane 4 from Alto Swim Club, Aaron Sequeira. Lane 5 from Athens Bulldog Swim Club, Bradley Dunham. Lane 6 from Boilermaker Aquatics, Dylan Bureau. Lane 7 from North Carolina Aquatic Club, Yuri Kosian. And in lane 8 from Longhorn Aquatics, Nathan Quarterman. Dunham leads, 27.6 for him. Dunham with 2:02.62 in the prelims. Actually been sub 2 minutes before. 1:58.60. He swam a 2:00.06 in a time trial at the National Championships a few weeks ago. And he is way out in front right now, 57.6. The next closest was a 59.1, a second and a half behind rather. It's Yuri Kosian in lane 7. Final turn for Dunham, 30.8 on that third 50, 128.5. Sequeira in 4, down second after he goes a 31.5 on the third 50, but no one's coming anywhere close to Bradley Dunham here in this B final. Domination from start to finish. 0.7 of a second ahead of everybody at the 50. He's only built from there. He's going to touch it at 159.30, winning the B final, 2:02.62. Sequeira in second, 2:03.09. For Harrison Lears finishing in third. Please welcome to the pool deck the A final of the men's 200 backstroke. Here are your A finalists swimming in lane 1, representing Athens Bulldog Swim Club, Ian Braun. Lane 2 from Ohio State University, Tristan Yankovic. Lane 3 from Tennessee Aquatics, Landon Driggers. Lane 4 from Australia, Ty Hartwell. Lane 5 representing Swim Atlanta, Jack Akins. Lane 6 from Athens Bulldog Swim Club, Sam Ha. Lane 7 representing Australia, Thomas Ha. And in lane 8 representing the University of Hawaii, Tim Gallagher. This is the A final, the men's 200 backstroke. Ty Hartwell, your top seed this morning with a 158.85. He's been a 157.84 in his career. Turned that in a bronze medal performance at the Australian Championships back in April. Aikens won the 100 backstroke and a best time for him. And he's out quick yet again. 27.5 for Jack Aikens, leading the way after 50 meters. His best time came a few weeks ago in a bronze medal performance at the American National Championships. 156.04 for Aikens. Grum in second. The revitalized rivalries. Grum and Aikens grew up swimming against each other in Atlanta. Aikens continues to hold the lead by 0.04 of a second. 57.53 for him on the way out. 57.57 for Ian Grum. Grum's best time, a 156.3. That too came at the American National Championships at the end of June. Third place is Hartwell. He's half a second behind the two leaders, Grum and Aikens. He's out in a 58.09. Here comes the final turn. Aikens has got the lead, and it's extended ever so slightly to 0.3 of a second as he goes a 30.02, a 100 in the middle 100 meters. And if he can have a strong finish, he'll be looking right at a 157 low, maybe a 156 high, but check out the finish from the Australian Ty Hartwell in lane 4. He has found a completely different gear, trying to pass Aikens down the final stretch. He does it. And he beats him by 1/4 of a second. Going a 157.82, a best time for Hartwell by 0.02 of a second. Excuse me, Aikens gets the win, rather. 157.82, and then a 158.05 for Ty Hartwell. Ian Grum in third, 158.52 for him. Fourth place, Sam Powell on a 159.86, just missing the best time. Landon Driggers goes the best time. He's done Yankovic's in lane 2. Next event, time for the 100 freestyle. Coming up next, the women's 100 free. This is the C final. Swimming in your C final, Barczyk in 1, Smithmaker 2, Kennett 3, Carlson 4, Reinstein 5, Osborne 6, Pintar 7, and Smith in 8. 57.17 is what it took to get a second swim this morning. 56.77 was the fastest in this heat, and that's owned by Abby Carlson of Wisconsin Aquatics. Carlson's lifetime best of 56.21. She's out in fourth right now as Sloan Reinstein has a 27.22. Leading the way, 27.25 for Bobby Kennett in lane 3. Kennett is a 57.01 this morning, tying her personal best time. Down to the 100th, see if she can get under 57 this evening. Carlson looks like she's got a lead, maybe in lane 8 as well. Who's going to get it at the touch? It is Francesca Smith. A little bit of outside smoke, 56.44 for her. Coming back in a 28.86, jumping from 6th to 1st on the second 50 to win the C final. Carlson finishing in second, a 56.58 for her. And then a 56.78. Barczyk in lane 1, getting in on the outside smoke action, coming back in a 29.0 to finish in third. B final. Final in the water, Goins at 1, Johnson 2, Riley 3, Duluth 4, Wanazek 5, Davidson 6, Smith in 7, and Shaw in 8. 56.74 all the way down to a 55.42 here in this B final of the women's 100 freestyle. First 50 meters are owned by Gabby Duluth, 26.61 for her. To open the B final action, 26.80 for Eloise Riley in lane 3, representing California Aquatics. Emma Davidson in third, 26.81, 0.2 of a second behind the lead of Duluth. Duluth looks like she's continuing to pull away from the rest of this field. 26.61 on the way out. On the way back in, she's going to win the B final with a 55.17. Getting under that Olympic trial standard of 55.79. Yet again, 55.81. Abby Wanazek in lane 5 finishes in second. 56.03. Eloise Riley of California finishes in third. Please welcome the A finalists in the women's 100 meters freestyle. Swimming in your A final in lane 1, representing Ohio State University, Catherine Zenek. Lane 2 from Gator Swim Club, Isabel Ivy. Lane 3 from Longhorn Aquatics, Grace Cooper. Lane 4 from New York Athletic Club, Katie Duluth. Lane 5, the American record holder from Sun Devil Swimming, Simone Manuel. Lane 6 from Indiana Swim Club, Christina Payco. Lane 7, representing Australia, Alex Perkins. And in lane 8 from Long Island Aquatic Club, Chloe Stepanek. A final, women's 100 meters freestyle. Duluth fastest in the prelims, 53.98, the only sub 54 that we saw. She's out quick again, 25.92. Katie Duluth in the lead. Grace Cooper in second right now with a 26.03. 55.79, the Olympic trial cut. The good news, all 8 of these ladies were under that time in the prelims. Pagel in lane 6 was in third. Manuel was in fourth. Final few strokes here. Here comes Simone Manuel looking very strong in the final 15 meters. Can Duluth hold her off down the final stretch? It is Katie DeLuth who takes the win, 54.06. Simone Manuel in second with a 54.21, and Grace Cooper finishes in third at a 54.86. Our next event number 28, the men's 100 freestyle. Up next. C final. Moving in your C final, Hills in 1, Ratsu in 2, Novak 3, Hawk 4, Samuels 5, Gabella in 6, White in 7, and Custy in 8. 23.58, Brady Samuels leading after 50 meters. Looks like George Ratsu in lane 2. Might have the edge as we get to the final touch. She does. A 49.42. Ratsu gets under the 50 point. Takes the heat win. In fact, a very tightly bunched top 6. Second place, 49.84. Third place, 49.89. Second was White. Third was Samuels. 6 times under that Olympic trial cut of 49.99. B final. Finalists in the water, Carranza in 1, Hockey in 2, Stoltman in 3, Orlando 4, Contarelli 5, House 6, McGahee 7, and Downing in 8. Orlando leads 23.57 on his first 50 meters. Orlando was a 49.48 for best time this morning. He's got a 900-second lead over Stuntman in 3. And a 10th of a second on Grant House in 6. Orlando looks like he still has the lead. As we go under the flags, House is making a charge. Tight finish. It is Grant House who gets the best of Orlando by 300ths. 49.07 for Grant House. Winning and going to best. 49.1 for Luca Orlando, finishing in second, and Santo Condarelli finishes in third with a 49.39. All right, Irvine, give it up for the A final in the men's 100 meters freestyle. Here are your A finalists swimming in lane 1 from Australia, Jesse Gorman. Lane 2 from Sun Devil Swimming, Jonathan Kula. Lane 3 from Indiana Swim Club, Blake Peroni. In lane 4, representing Louisiana State University, Brooks Curry. Lane 5 from Australia, Maximilian Giuliani. Lane 6, also out of Australia, Jamie Jack. Lane 7 from Swim, Houston, Brett Pinfold. And in lane 8 from Rose Bowl Aquatics, Luke Maurer. This is the A final of the men's 100 freestyle. Blake Peroni in lane 3, one of the most decorated Americans in history. 3 Olympic golds, 4 long course world championship golds. The list goes on and on for Peroni. Brooks Curry, the best NCAA swimmers in history as well, and he is out quick. Curry is out at a 22.75. That's only a tenth of a second off of his lifetime best. Curry was a 48.29 this morning. Worth noting, the pro swim record is a 48.00 owned by Nathan Adrian, set back in 2016. Who knows? Crazier things have happened. Check out the Australians coming down. Max Giuliani trying to pass at the last second. He does. 48.21. Maximilian Giuliani gets the A final win. Curry in second at a 48.36. And then Kulo in third with a 48.61. The Aussies set up nicely for the 400 freestyle relay that'll happen later this evening. That sets us up for our next event. Back to the 200s we go. Event 29, the women's 200 breaststroke on deck. This is the B final. B-final, women's 200 breaststroke. Hannah Bach of Ohio State, E1. Katya Pavasevich of Triton's Aquatic Club, E2. Margot McDonald, in lane 3. Abigail Kerstu of California Aquatics, and for her teammate, Lucia Henry, in lane 5. Christiana Williams of Aztec Aquatics in 6. And Jenna Fadley of the Princeton Tigers in lane 7. Margaret McDonald, 34.69 on the way out in 100 meters. Bagley, 34.79, sitting in second right now. Halfway point. Looks like Lucia Henry has the lead. 113.75 for her at the halfway. 114.24. Herstu in second. Al Barron's going 1-2 right now. Long way to go. Margot McDonald in lane 3 is charging. Princeton Tigers seated with a 238.49. this morning. Also keep an eye on Katja Pavasevich in lane 2. Drayton's Aquatic Club. He's only 0.6 of a second back at the 100-meter mark. Henry found another gear, 38.8 to even split the middle 100 of this 200 breaststrokes B final. Pavasevich moving into second, but it's a distant second as Alicia Henry has opened up. Here comes lane 7, Jenna Fadley. Her best time, a 2:34.04. She's having a fantastic final 50 meters, but it will all be too late for everyone because Henry has taken it away. 2:32.01 for Alicia Henry winning this B final. Jenna Fadley jumping from 5th to 2nd on the second 100, going to 2:34.48, and then a 2:34.81 for Pavasevich in lane 2, finishing in 3rd. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the A final of the women's 200 breaststroke. Introducing your A finalists, swimming in lane 1 from Longhorn Aquatics, Channing Hanley. Lane 2 from Irvine Nova Aquatics, it's Caitlin Wynn. Lane 3 from Australia, Michaela Smith. Lane 4, also from Australia, Ella Ramsey. Lane 5 from Trojan Swim Club, Isabel Odgers. Lane 6 from Gator Swim Club, Emma Wyan. Lane 7 from Ohio State University, Joseph Pennant. And in lane 8 from Indiana Swim Club, Brianna Crawford. A final of the women's 200 breaststroke. Three event winners in the water right now. Wyatt won the 400 IM. Ramsey won the 200 IM. And Smith won the 100 breaststroke. Will one of them add a second top finish to their weekend? Could somebody like Isabel Odgers find their way to the top spot? Odgers second in the 100 breaststroke. In the A final in this event at the National Championships earlier this month. Michaela Smith, though, is out quick. You'd expect as much from the 100 breaststroke champion, 32.37 for her. Her best time in this event at 2:26.05. She was a 2:30.01 in the prelims. There's some room for improvement for sure. Olympic trials cut in this event at 2:31.69. Only a few ladies under that mark this morning, 3 to be precise. Smith and Ramsey, who obviously aren't going to be attending the American Olympic trials. And Isabel Odgers in lane 5. Odgers in 3rd at the 100. Ramsey in 2nd. Smith in the lead. And it's a big lead for Michaela Smith. Like I said, Smith's best time, 2:26.05. Question is, can anyone track her down on the back half? Isabel Odgers looks like she's already passed Noah Ramsey. But is she going to run out of real estate? Can she make a very, very difficult final 50? 1.9 seconds is what she would have to make up. Be very difficult. Ramsey putting in a very good swim right now. 1:47.77 at the 150. Odgers in 2nd. Ramsey in 3rd. Michaela Smith rather in the lead. Caitlin Wynn within striking distance. Everybody's starting to reel in that lead of Michaela Smith. Is it going to be too little too late? Was the lead enough going into this final 50? She had a 2-second lead. Ramsey might have made the pass already. But it'll be the Aussies 1-2. 2:27.41 for Ella Ramsey. Taking the win on 37.6 on the final 50 meters. Michaela Smith finishing in 2nd at the 2:27.63. Isabel Odgers in 3rd with a 2:28.15. 2:29.86 for Caitlin Wynn. Best time for her. 2:30.62 in the Wyatt, rounding out the top 5 in the women's 200 breaststroke. Men's 200 breaststroke, moments away. C final of the men's 200 breaststroke. Final, men's 200 breaststroke. Xavier Ruiz of Ridgefield Aquatic Club in 1. Carrie Herrera of Indiana Swim Club in 2. Will Schultz of Lakeside Swim Team in 3. Brandon Fisher of Tri-Valley Aquatics in 4. Pavel Romanov of Alpha Aquatics in 5. Sean Swift, California Aquatics in 6. Michael Phillips of Aquajets in 7. And Jerry Chin of the University of Pittsburgh in lane 8. 29-28, Sean Swift leads the way on the first 50. Schultz in 2nd, 29.4. .1 for Brandon Fisher, touching in 3rd at the 50. Swift continues to lead, 101.95, a very strong opening 100, and now the truth comes out. It was all an effort to get that 100 time. A great start, though. But now Schultz is going to take the lead in lane 3 as Swift hits a warm-down lap. For those of you curious, that was indeed under the Olympic trials mark on that opening 100 for Sean Swift in lane 6. So great swim there. Will Schultz taking the lead over now that Swift's on his warm-down legs. Brandon Fisher in 2nd. 35.0 on that third 50 with 34.4. Fisher's only a 1/10 of a second back at that final turn. Looks like he's already made the move. Jerry Chin in lane 8, also in the mix. University of Pittsburgh 22-year-old. But the C final is going to go to Brandon Fisher. A 2:13.84 for Fisher. Getting under 2:14 and winning the C final. Jerry Chin in second with a 2:14.82. And a 2:14.84 for Harry Herrera. B final. Daniel Lee of Rose Bowl Aquatics gets us started here in this B final in lane 1. Ethan Maloney of Virginia Tech in 2. William Pentrick of Australia in 3. Jack Kelly of Empire Swimming in 4. Maximilian Pilger of Indiana Swim Club in 5. Chris O'Grady of the Spartans in 6. Colin Ferry of Dallas Mustangs in 7. And Jed Garner of Tennessee Aquatics is in lane 8. At the 50, it's Pilger in the lead, 30.0. 30.2 for Pentrick in 3. 30.2 Maloney in lane 2. 2/10 of a second separating the top 4 here. Jack Kelly in lane 4 sitting in 4th. Pentrick stinging the lead there in lane 3. The Australian's having a strong night for sure. He's in command of this B final, 104.07. 0.04 of a second ahead of Colin Ferry in lane 7. Ferry back in a 33.67, out splitting the rest of the field. Pentrick the only other sub-34 split on that second 50. You had to go faster than the Olympic trial cut just to make it into this B final this morning. A fast event for sure. In fact, a few of the gentlemen in the C final had also accomplished that mark in the prelims. Right now, we're paying attention to William Pentrick, who's got a 0.04 of a second lead over Ferry, who's in lane 7. Pentrick and Ferry both have to worry about Jack Kelly, who's charging. He was in 7th at the 100. He's in 3rd at the final turn. And he looks like he's already got the lead there in lane 4. Can he hold off any other charges like maybe Chris O'Grady in lane 6, who's moving quick down the final 5 meters into the wall? A tight B final, but it's Jack Kelly with the heat win. 2:13.07 for him. 2:13.31 for William Pentrick, finishing in 2nd. At a 2:13.78, Chris O'Grady finishes in 3rd, rounding out the B final of the men's 200 breaststroke.
You'd have to talk to the trailer down there. That's where you're going to have to ask.
It's not what you can ask for it yet. We can get it at the end. That's what you
From that last race there?
No, from the 1500.
Yeah, I would ask that. I don't have that here right now. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, we're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pool deck, the A final in the men's 200 breaststroke. Introducing your A final in lane 1 from Trojan Swim Club, Ben Dillard. Lane 2 from Nova of Virginia, Charlie Swanson. Lane 3 from Elite Coronado, Nick Mahaver. Lane 4 from Longhorn Aquatics, Will Lacombe. Lane 5, representing Indiana Swim Club, Matt Raj. Lane 6 from the Mason Manor Rays, Jake Foster. Lane 7, representing California Aquatics, Jason Lauser. And in lane 8 out of Australia, Joshua Young. This is the A final of the men's 200 breaststroke. Breaststroke of this meet has been on point. You had Jake Foster and Nick Mahaver both breaking a minute in the 100 last night. Foster doing that for the first time in his career on the way to the win. Mahaver also breaking a minute for the first time in his career. You may not have known, but that swim for Mahaver last night ranks him as the second fastest 17 and 18-year-old in American history. Only the second 18 and under to break it, behind a guy named Michael Andrew. Mahaver also only 17, so still a lot of time to chase after that national age group record. Foster out quick, 28.96 for Foster. This morning, Jake Foster was a 2:11.91. A 2:09.00 is his best time from last year's national championships in this pool. Swanson in second, 29.51 for him on the opening 50 meters. Foster continues to lead, 1:01.56 from a man who went 59 mid yesterday. That's some incredible speed to open this A final 200 breaststroke. Lacombe still right there, 1:02.3 for him. Lacombe, the 5th fastest man in American history in this event. Got some work to do if he's going to chase down Jake Foster. Foster half a second under his best time pace. His best time is a 2:09.00. which has him as the 13th fastest man in American history. So you got number 13 taking on number 5. Number 13's got an 0.8 of a second lead right now. Max Ration, lane number 5 of Indiana Swim Club's charging. He was a 33.8, but Foster outsplit everyone. He was a 33.19, and the man has been looking very, very strong in the breaststroke events all weekend long, prelims and finals. What does he have in store this evening? 2:09.00 is his best time. He's under the flags, and he is going to touch at a 2:08.23, a best time for Foster, and a great time. So fast I didn't even notice. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a new pro swim record from Jake Foster of the Mason Manor Rays. 2:08.23 moves him up to the 8th fastest 200 breaststroker in American history. It's also a top 10 swim in the world this year, and that's including those races happening in Japan right now. Lacona 2:09.51. Very strong second place. 2:11.35. Max Rash finishes in 3rd. But it is a new Pro Swim Series record for Jake Foster, 2:08.23. Try and do even better than that. It's the time. C final. Well, 2 is better than 1, and we got 2 in this race. We'll see what we can push 200 butterflyers to. Mackenzie McConaughey of Wisconsin Aquatics is in lane 4. Sydney Gring of the University of Pittsburgh in lane 5. Kana out, 29.41, Green at 30.0. $102.99 from McConaughey on the way out here. 217.50 in the prelims. McConaughey's best time at 2:12.55. Doing that at national championships a year ago. She's out a half a second faster than that swim right now. Swim at 2:13.0 in a time trial at the national championships a few weeks ago. 1:37.7 at that third and final turn. 1:41.15 for Gring. McConaughey will touch at a 2:14.17, winning the BC final rather. Bringing it a 2:19.08. Both ladies going faster than those prelim swims. And wrapping up the C final. B final. The final women's 200 butterfly underway. Maggie Shallow of Irvine Nova Aquatics in 1. Bruzzo of Plymouth Whitemarsh in 2. Lizzie Cook, Cal Aquatics in 3. Alex Massey of Nashville Aquatic Club in 4. Rachel Klinker, Cal Aquatics in 5. Kat Minnick of Indiana Swim Club in 6. And then a pair of Buckeyes, both from Ohio State, in 7 and 8. Kira Somerstadt and Lucy Malas. Maggie Shallow in lane 1, leveraging that familiarity with this pool. Irvine Nova Aquatic 18-year-old out in the 29.3. She was a 2:15.99 in the prelims. Lifetime best a 2:13.95, just outside of that Olympic trial cut at 2:13.69. Klinker was in second, Minnick in third at the 50. Here we are at the 100, and it's Klinker in the lead, 102.81. Shallow at a 102.97. Klinker's best time a 2:09.18. This morning she was a 2:14.27. That Minnick still sitting in third place, 103.35 for her. 2 has yet to get under that Olympic trial cut. Moving quick now, 34.88, moving up those rankings. Klinker still looking very strong, 34.1 on that third 50, 35.7 for shallow. Just outside of PR pace, which is what she would need to go if she was going to get that Olympic trial cut. Here comes lanes 2, 3, and 4, Abruzzo, Cook, and Massey. But everyone's looking at Rachel Klinker's lead. Klinker trying to get his arms over the water and to the wall to win the B final. She does just that. 2:13.00. Klinker wins the B final. Second place at 2:13.98, Alex Massey, the owner at that time, and then 2:14.00 from Kat Minnick, finishing in third. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the pool deck the A final of the women's 200 butterfly. Introducing your A finalists in lane 1 from Ohio State University, Alyssa Graves. Lane 2 from Keystone Aquatics, Leah Gingrich. Lane 3 from Longhorn Aquatics, Kelly Pack. Your top seed in 4 from Longhorn Aquatics, Dakota Luther. Lane 5 from Longhorn Aquatics, Emma Stickland. Lane 6 from Gamecock Aquatics, Greta Pelzik. Lane 7 from Alto Swim Club, Lily Nordman. And in lane 8, representing Australia, Brittany Casaluso. A final of the women's 200 butterfly. Time. Make it back to the edge. Go to lose on the 1, 2, 20 on the way out. Lily Nordman in lane 7 was in second. It was a 2:12.54 this morning. Castelluzzo, the Aussie, in lane 8 out in the 28.83. She's got a best time of 2:08.79 from the Aussie champs. Here's the halfway point. Luther looks like she still has the edge. That is the case. Stickland jumps from 5th to 2nd, 1:01.3 on the opening 100 meters. The duo from Texas split the exact same thing, 32.37 down to the 100th. Dakota Luther, third in this event at National Championships earlier this month. Stickland, the NCAA champion in this event earlier this year. Final turn, Luther has found a different speed, 32.6, even splitting basically the middle 100 meters. Most positive split by a considerable margin. Stickland still in second, but it's a second and a quarter back. Here comes Kelly Pash on her way, moving through the ranks. She's now in third, 33.0 for her on that third 50. And it's going to be 3 Longhorns winning. 1, 2, 3. The A final belongs to Texas. 206.79 for Luther, 208.00 for Passion, 208.96 for Stickland. Longhorns go 1, 2, 3. Just a reminder, as we get ready for the men's 200 butterfly, there will be a 10-minute break after the A final of the men's 2 fly as we get ready for our last relays of the weekend. Final individual event on deck, men's 200 butterfly up. C final of the men's 200 butterfly. C final men's 200 butterfly. Drew Ryder of Indiana Swim Club in 1. Holden Smith of Longhorn Aquatics in 2. Ryan Brennan of Longhorn Aquatics in 3. Clayton Conklin of Aggie Swim Club in 4. Tyler Kopp of California Aquatics in lane 5. Caleb Ellis of Ohio State in 6. Charlie Jones of Wisconsin Aquatics in 7. And Nicholas Lim of Princeton in lane 8. Conklin in the lead after 100 meters, 56.22. Strong opening 100. As Kopp is over a second back from that lead. Always a risk reward in the 200 butterfly. Because if you go out too quick, his arms might be a little too heavy trying to go down that final 50 meters. We'll see if Conklin has made the right wager here. Still in the lead, but he's given up a little bit of that lead. Tyler Kopp has closed the gap to 7/10 of a second. Here comes Ryan Brennan in lane 3. Charlie Jones in lane 7. Drew Ryder in lane 1. All sorts of people trying to reel in Conklin. Can Conklin hold him off? Arms are heavy. There's the touch. It's a 1:59.87. A sub 2-minute swim from Clayton Conklin of Aggie Swim Club. Getting under that Olympic trial cut as well. Alongside him, Ryan Brandon gets under it as well. 2:00:15 for him and a 2:00:31 for Tyler Kopp, finishing in third. B-final, men's 200 butterfly. Armando Vegas in lane 1. Angel Martinez of Aggie Swim Club in 2. Connor McKenna of Princeton in 3. Landon Gentry of Virginia Tech in 4. Sterling Crane of Longhorn Aquatics in 5. Adam Mahler of the University of Pittsburgh in 6. Tony Zen, SoCal Aquatics in 7. And Harry Holmans in lane 8. Crane leading 25-8, 29-3, out with 55.1. 55-8 for Martinez in 2, and a 56-2 for Landon Gentry, the Hokie, in lane 4. But everyone's a second back or more from Sterling Crane. Martinez looks like he's making up a little bit of ground as we wrap up this third 50 here. Final turn. That was mistaken. Martinez a little bit further back as Crane splits a 30.6 on that third 50. Sterling Crane was a 2:00:32 in the prelims. He's going to run away with his B final. What a swim, a 150. All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the A final in the men's 200 butterfly. Swimming in your A final in lane 1, representing Aggie Swim Club, Trey Dickey. Lane 2 from Longhorn Aquatics, Sam Artman. Lane 3 from Mission Viejo, Trenton Julian. Your top seed in 4 from Wolfpack Elite, Aiden Hayes. Lane 5 from California Aquatics, Colby Mefford. Lane 6 from Sun Devil Swimming, Jay Litherland. Lane 7 from the Dallas Mustangs, Cotton Fields. And in lane 8 from La Loma Querétaro, Ascanio Fernandez Urbina. This is the A final in the men's 200 butterfly. Hayes turned in the fastest time this morning at a 1:58.51. Just a tenth of a second ahead of Colby Mefford. This entire field only separated by a second and a half in the prelims. Best times turned in, including Trey Dickey getting under 2 minutes for the first time in his career. 1:59.77. 50 meters in, Aiden Hayes has got the lead. 25:48 for him. 25:77, Mefford in second. 25:87, Trenton Julian in third. Julian with some gold around his neck at the World Championship, or excuse me, the World Cup Series last year, and the stop in Canada in this event. Hayes, the NCAA champion in this event, out in a 55:01. He's got 3/10 of a second on Julian. Mefford in lane 5, out in a 55:81. Mefford, a Pac-12 championship finalist in the 200 backstroke. Showing some dexterity across the strokes. Trenton Julian, Aiden Hayes look like they may have swapped spots. That's the case. Julian is in the lead by a tenth of a second, but Colby Mefford with the fastest split on that third 50. What an underwater there from Colby Mefford, getting right back into the mix. Three men are entering the last 25 meters virtually tied. Trenton Julian's might be pulling away here. Colby Mefford has made the pass. Can he track down Julian? Here comes Jay Litherland as well, but it is all Trenton Julian. 1:56.91 for Julian. Second place at 1:58.01 for Colby Mefford. 1:58.31 for Jay Litherland. Somehow figures out a way to finish faster and faster. 31.0 getting his hand on the wall third. Aiden Hayes in fourth at a 1:58.92. Well, that wraps up all of our individual events. Don't go anywhere because you're not going to want to miss these 400 freestyle relays that are coming up. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Make sure all of our freestylers are well rested and our teams are ready to rock. We will resume competition in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
all-new Prius. Toyota, let's go places.
I have the right to
respect,
safe relationships, and a positive environment. I have the right to personal boundaries that should never be crossed.
Professional boundaries that I will always follow.
I have the right to
Speak up and protect.
We believe we all have the right to a positive and safe environment. We won't tolerate any person or any action that threatens the culture of our sport.
we stand together. We are
USA Swimming. Take action and become a champion for safe sport.
All right, the official word has been given. We are 3 minutes away from resuming competition. We got 3 heats of relays to swim to cap off this huge 2023 TYR Pro Championship. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to get ready. It's our final races of this weekend, the women's 400 freestyle. Here are your relays. Swimming in lane 1, the relay from the University of Missouri. Lane 2, Wisconsin Aquatics. Lane 3, Indiana Swim Club. Lane 4, the relay out of Australia. Lane 5, Alto Swim Club. Lane 6, the A relay from Ohio State. Lane 7, California Aquatics. And in lane 8, the B relay from Ohio State. This is the women's 400 freestyle relay. Freestyle relay down and back for each swimmer. Here's who's in the water. Smith in 1, Wanazek in 2, Turok in 3, O'Leary in 4, Walhair in 5, Hall in 6, Stone in 7, and Kraus in 8. At the 50-meter mark, it looks like the Aussies may already have the edge. That is the case. Actually, they're tied with Indiana Swim Club. Turok and O'Leary both out in the 26.64. Walhair in lane 5 was out in the 26.88. Final 15 meters of this first leg. The Australian setting a new world record over in Japan earlier this week. And that speed on display in a similar fashion here. 55.68. O'Leary leads the way for the Aussies. Second swimmers in the water now. Gawns in 1, Carlson in 2, Pagel in 3, Perkins 4, Nordman in 5, Zinnick 6, Gentry in 7, and Woodbury in 8. Halfway through the second leg, Alto Swim Club half a second back from the Australians. Lily Nordman in the water now for Alto. She's out in the 26.2, 25.9 on the way out for Alex Perkins of Australia. The only sub-26 split in the field. Third place is now California Aquatics in lane 7. And it looks like it's 2 relays right now, and the rest are just giving chase. Australia continues to lead. It continues to only be about a quarter of a second as we go to our third swimmers. In the water now, Smith in 1, Bacon in 2, Riestick in 3, Price in 4, McEnroe 5, Harrison 6, Cook in 7, and Guevara in 8. 26.2, 28.5 was the splits for Nordman, keeping them right on the heels of Australia, but a very fast opening split from Lily Price of Australia. The 20-year-old goes out in a 25.85, 26.30 for McEnroe of Alto Swim Club. 0.7 of a second the gap, but it looks like McEnroe and the lead back down from 0.7 of a second to 0.3 of a second. 29.45 for McEnroe on the way back in. Final swimmers in the water now. Williams in 1, McConaughey in 2, Hahn in 3, Castelluzzo 4, Johnson 5, Funderburg 6, Mazurek 7, and Panitz in 8. It's going to be a tight race down the final 50 meters. Pick a team, get behind them. Alto Swim Club takes the lead for the first time this entire 400 freestyle relay. Gigi Johnson, the 19-year-old, in lane 5, trying to hold off Brittany Castelluzzo. Casaluzzo's taking the lead back, and it doesn't look like she's going to give it back. The Australians will win yet another relay, and they will win it by almost a second. Casaluzzo closing in a 28.1 on the second 50, going to 55.3. Close out a very fast 3:41.40. Winning the 400 freestyle relay. Second place, 3:42.38 for Alto Swim Club, 3:46.20 for Wisconsin Aquatics. Results are unofficial. We go now to the men's 400 freestyle relay. Heat 1. University of Pittsburgh in 3, Ohio State in 4. Athens Bulldog Swim Club in 5, and Boilermaker Aquatics in 6. In the water for each team, Gosharov in 3, Garcia Ruiz in 4, Koski in 5, Bureau in 6. Gosharov out at a 23.86, leading the way. About 0.8 of a second ahead of ABSC and Ohio State. Strong second half from Koski in lane 5. Saw him earlier this evening in the C-final of the men's 100 freestyle. Look at that final few yards, or meters rather, as he goes at 50.55, closing the gap down with a 25.9 on the second 50. But it's Gosharov's 50.3 that gives Pittsburgh the lead after the first leg. In the water now, Toledo Sanchez of Pittsburgh, Krasinski for Ohio State, Hills for Athens Bulldogs, and Samuels for the Boilermakers. Hills gives the Bulldogs the early lead, 23-39, heading down to the opposite end of the pool on his leg. Second swimmers in the water. Toledo Sanchez out at a 23.82. Pittsburgh now in second by 0.2 of a second. Ohio State just over a second behind the lead of the Bulldogs. And we'll go to our third swimmers now. 26-23 for Hills coming back. 49.6 for him. A very strong second leg. Third swimmers in the water, Chen for Pittsburgh in 3, Exon for Ohio State in 4, McGahee for the Bulldogs in 5, and Alders for Boilermakers in 6. McGahee's out in a 24.08. A solid first split from the Bulldog. Better known for his distance swimming, but has the ability to sprint for sure. And he's making that known to the rest of this field as he is pulling away. 2 seconds the gap now between Bulldogs and Pitt. McGahee comes back in a 26.0, going to 50.1 on his leg. Pittsburgh still holding second down. It has about a second lead on Ohio State. Here are your anchors. Mahler in 3 for Pitt. Yankovic in 4 for Ohio State. Downing in 5 for the Bulldogs. And Whitty in 6 for Boilermakers. Downing out in a 23.43. One of the faster splits we've seen. Only eclipsed by his teammate Hills opening 23.3. 24.2 for Yankovic in 4 for Ohio State. He makes the pass of Pitt. And Ohio State now in second and pulling away. But it's all Athens Bulldogs Swim Club here in this first heat. They're going to touch at a 3:20.24. We'll keep a close eye on that. Second place goes to Ohio State B, 325.94 and a 327.74 for Pitt. Let's swap some relays out and then we'll introduce you to our final race of the 2023 TYR Pro Championships. Here are your relays. Swimming in lane 1, the relay from the University of Missouri. Lane 2, Wisconsin Aquatics. Lane 3, Alto Swim Club. Lane 4, Australia. Lane 5, Indiana Swim Club. Lane 6, Ohio State University. And in lane 7, Aggie Swim Club. Heat 2 of the men's 400 freestyle relay. Opening swimmers in the water. Nowakowski leading for the Australians here. Who is alongside him? Baczynski in 1, Torepe Ormsby in 2, Voss in 3, Nowakowski in 4, Barr in 5, Bonsis in 6, and Reno in 7. $49.77 for Nowakowski, leading on the way out. 50.0 for Torepe Ormsby in second, and then Avery Voss's 50.08 was in third. In the water now, Wilson, Benson, Good, Gorman, Peroni, Fentress, and Bray. Gorman out in a 23.70. That is eclipsed by Wilson of Missouri by quite a bit. 23.41 on the opening 50 meters. About to hit the halfway point in this final race of these TYR Pro Championships. Indiana Swim Club takes the lead. Peroni came back in a 24.96 to go a 48.7 on his leg. Australia in second. Here are your third swimmers. Wendell in 1, Morris 2, Sikaira in 3, Jack in 4, White in 5, Kazam in 6, Green in 7. The Aussies take the lead back. Jack's out in a 23.65, 23.79 for Indiana Swim Club. Can anyone stop the Aussies, who have been winning just about everything tonight? It looks like Indiana is going to give it a shot. They're going to have to take on Giuliani on the anchor leg from the Aussies. Burns anchoring for Indiana Swim Club. The lead is 0.04 of a second for Australia. 25.7 for Jack on the way back. They are all by themselves, and it's Giuliani immediately trying to make up the ground. A huge underwater there from Brendan Burns of Indiana Swim Club. Here comes the final turn. What a great race to close out a great weekend. Indiana Swim Club up by 1/10 of a second. Look at the underwater from Brendan Burns. Absolutely amazing. He's put a half a body length up. Can Giuliani make up the ground? He's done it before. He can do it again. Final 10 meters to round out the TYR Pro Championships. To the wall at the touch, it's Indiana. 3:17:08 for Indiana Swim Club, a 23:4, 25:1. Identical split from the Aussies and the Hoosiers down the final 50 meters. Third place to Wisconsin Aquatics at a 3:19:85. Fourth place actually going to Athens Bulldog Swim Club from heat number 1 with a 3:20.24. And what a way to put an exclamation mark on this very fun weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all of our wonderful swimmers. A huge thank you to Nova for hosting this wonderful meet. A thank you to all of our volunteers all around the pool deck and the venue. To all of our volunteer officials, a special thank you to you. Thank you everybody for making this wonderful week happen. Thank you to our title sponsor, TYR. A great 2022 to 2023 season comes to a close in epic fashion. We're so glad that you were here with us for some fast swimming and a wonderful weekend. Junior National Championships next week. Please make sure to take a look around you and clean up your area so that we can set this venue up for a wonderful National Championships of the junior variety. Thanks everybody for being here, both online and in venue. Have a great time. Drive safe.